Chatting with Chris Buck live from a hotel in Calgary. This is great on single release day. So I got to ask you a little bit about how's the bed? Because it's not the bed for me in a hotel; it's the pillows, right? Like I just hate when the pillows are good.
The pillows actually, it's funny you say that. The pillows here are amazing. Sandman, where are we at? The Sandman Plus, I believe it is. The
Pillows.
pillows here are fantastic.
I have some friends who bring pillows with them. I would too if they didn't take up so much room. I'm kind of a pillow snob a little bit, just because I don't know. I just find that's gotta have a good pillow. Gotta have a good pillow.
The worst thing is, obviously, I spend a lot of time in hotel rooms. The worst is when you get a really comfy bed and they give you the tiniest little pillow, and you're like, "What am I supposed to do with this thing?"
Could you skimp a little on the comfortable bed, and could you give me a better pillow?
Please,
Right?
yeah.
How much little hotel bottles of shampoo and stuff do you have in your house?
You know what? I really got to start stealing those things.
You don't? Come on.
Oh, I always wondered about that. I'm like, am I supposed to take these, or do I leave them? Are they complimentary? Yeah. Okay. Well, since you told me now, I'm gonna collect them. Thanks, Shilo.
The last hotel I was at, I think had the dispensers. And it takes a little effort, but I you could steal one of those too, because that's why they do it. They're like, well, people are taking our stuff, so we'll just give a little dispensers. And I think that's a challenge.
I've seen those. Yeah, they're starting to pop up more and more. Those dispensers. They're getting smart.
They call it a deterrent. I call it a challenge. All right, so it's your single release day. This has been a little while coming. I mean, you have one out late 2018, and this is the next off of that project, correct?
Yep. Brand new album as well, coming out on the 8th of this month as well.
Wow.
February. So I've been busy writing a lot down south. So I'm excited to share all the new music I've co-wrote on every single on the album, which I'm pretty proud about. So
tell me the name of the new album. Do we have it?
Yes, we do. It's called All In. Like I've gone all in.
All right. All right.
So it's
I hope it's not because you literally went all in. Like this is it. This is I'm kidding. It's kind of an ominous. I'm all in, guys.
Oh, the jokes at 5 a.m. I tell you.
So early there. Okay, so tell me about the new single.
Yeah, new single. It's called Good Old Days. It's basically I wrote that, I guess, about just growing up as a kid. In the video that'll be coming out later in the month, it's got shots of me and my dad, me and my mom, me playing hockey as a kid. And it's more of a sentimental song that kind of just reminds people about the good old days, like when you were growing up with family and friends. And I think everyone can kind of relate to that, just looking back on the good old days. So,
great.
I wrote a song about it. And so the song means a lot to me because obviously, has a lot to do with my family as well.
Well, here's a little sample of Good Old Days, of course, out wherever you get your music today from Chris Buck.
Mm-hmm. Back under the stars that night, never thought to ask where yesterday may go. So young and free, just killing time, driving too fast on those dotted lines. Those memories won't fade away, looking back on those good old days. Yeah, looking back on those good old days.
So good, man. That's a great tune. And you say your dad and your family in the video itself too?
Yeah. So when I shot the music video up in the Okanagan, the director's like, "Do you have any footage, like, from birthdays or like you playing sports as a kid?" So got a hold of my mom and went through hours and hours of video of finding something, that could work well for the video. So we sent it over to the director. He's like, "This is brilliant." So it kind of flashes back and forth from the future to the past and stuff.
What's the most embarrassing video that your mom found that you're like, no, there's no way that anyone's going to see that, Mom?
Being naked in the bathtub as kids. I'm like, that is not going on there.
I think most of us have that. Like our parents have that somewhere, or the threat of that, right?
I
They
know.
always have the threat, like, if you don't do this, then I'm gonna show that video.
Or the spaghetti all over your face as a kid trying to get it in your mouth.
Yeah.
So,
See, I think that's funny. That's funny. I still do that sometimes. All right. So you obviously are in music videos yourself. I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't. I'm the one guy that haven't. Everyone says it's amazing.
I was that one guy for a while. I guess it was two of
Yeah.
us, and I actually did the other day. So I guess you're the one guy.
I heard, heard
Uh,
it's a long movie, so you need some time. It's like 3 hours or something, isn't
yeah,
it? Or,
I think it's
yeah.
it's long. But the guy who plays Freddie Mercury is great. Who would play Chris Buck if you could pick someone to play Chris Buck in a movie?
Too early for that question.
You need more coffee in your life.
I do. I haven't even. I'm getting to that.
This is
getting
coffee.
that.
This is without coffee, Chris Buck.
I said since my facial hair is a lot like Hugh Jackman's off the movie Wolverine. Maybe I'll say Hugh Jackman, although he does look a lot older than me. But he also is in a lot better shape than me, so that would be cool.
That is awesome. Are you guys still playing, like, I don't know, I think I read somewhere you guys play like 300 dates a year almost. You still doing that
I'm
nonsense?
not doing that anymore. That was when I was a little bit younger. But we are. we still. I think we still are one of the most busy bands in Canada. I've always told my agent, like the fun part of music for me is the performing part and obviously the writing part.
Mhm.
So a lot of times we go to smaller cities that a lot of bands don't even take the time to stop in, but we'll do it just because it's such a cool experience meeting some of these small town peoples, and they're always the most grateful people to have you there. They're like, "You're playing our small town, that's amazing." So I think we get a lot more dates because of that, and I think also we get a lot more like hardcore fans because we go to their communities not only that year but year after year. We go back to the same places a lot, which I think is pretty unusual nowadays to do that. So yeah, we do play a lot still, but not 300, not
Because
that
I remember
much.
when I read that once, I'm like, there's someone exaggerating that number. But then I talked to you about it. You're like, yeah, we actually legitly have before played that many. So
Yeah, that was in the bar days. We were playing the clubs and bars. We were doing it 4 or 5 times a week for
man,
many years there. So
That's a lot.
I think it was pretty close to that.
that's a lot. Okay, so your new album's coming out on the 8th. You had a great collaboration before with Kira Isabella. Any collaborations this time we can look forward to?
No, do I? No, I don't. Not on this album. Um, I'm still open-minded to do that. I am still. A few people have asked me, "Are you going to write another like ballad love song
Mhm.
duet?" And I'm like, you know what? I am. I am going to write it, but I'm not going to put it out unless it's the right song either. I'm not just going to write a song. Be like, oh, here it is.
God bless
So,
you. God bless you for that. I appreciate. We got to put another ballad out here. Put a stamp on it. And no, thanks for not doing that.
So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time down south in Nashville and just learning, wanting to be a better songwriter and wanting to get better. Because I think at the end of the day, no matter what's going on, how many shows you're playing or what you're doing, if you have a song that resonates with someone, then it's going to do something. And I always tell a lot of younger artists that as well. I'm like, just keep writing songs and just write every day if you can, till you get a song that's good. And
You spent a lot of time. Spent a lot of time in Nashville. Do you know all the Nashvilleian like language? Are you up on all the language and the slang now? Like, do you ever have to get an interpreter, or are you good?
Do you know what's funny though? People go to Nashville and they think it's this yeehaw honky tonk place, like there is there, but it's actually a pretty urban city.
Mm-hmm.
But if you drive about 45 minutes any direction out of Nashville, it changes very, very quickly. So I've driven down to Alabama once or twice, and it was an interesting experience. But in Nashville alone, it's people would be surprised. It's a pretty urban city.
Well, there's a lot of people that are down there that are like transplants. I mean, if you're anything in the music business or whatever, there's a very diverse group there.
There is, yeah.
And the music scene, what I understand is it's not just country. There is a music scene for a lot of different genres there.
Totally. You got guys from LA coming over there to write songs with some of the guys now, and it's got a rock scene. It's got even got hip hop artists there too, because I think not only is Nashville a country town, it's a songwriting town. I think there's, since a lot of the songwriters migrate either to LA or to Nashville, um, they're finding more and more people from LA actually heading to Nashville because of the talent of the writers, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool. So not only I think it's a music town, I consider it like a writing town where the writers get so much respect because the artists down there, a lot of them don't write their own music anymore. They're looking for the songwriters so they can get songs. So it's kind of interesting
Yeah.
because you see them poking around, like trying to find the next big hit, down there. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, so your album's coming out on the 8th. What are you doing for album release day? Do you have anything planned? Anything crazy, exciting?
Um, I will be in Toronto. I'm not too sure what I'm doing, but I will be in Ontario for a couple days with my manager Catherine, and I'm sure she's going to have me all over the place. So
Yeah.
I'm honestly not too sure, but I'm sure it's going to be one heck of a day.
Well, awesome. Listen, look forward to the album. Of course, the single is out today. Grab it when you can. Chris, thanks for doing this. We'll touch base a little bit later on, and I know good things are going to come from the album. It's going to be called All In, and
Yeah.
man, I appreciate the time. Go have some
Yeah.
coffee. Listen, I've been drinking coffee all morning, so
Oh, you had to. You had to rub it in right at the end. I'm literally heading downstairs for one right now.
awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.
Okay,
Thanks for
have
having me
fun.
on.
Thanks, Chris. I'll post that
Okay.
next Friday.